Tactical urbanism is a form to approach urban transformations, urban regeneration, through light, quick, cheap interventions that involves citizens in the making of the change itself. It's a powerful instrument because it can apply to the public space, to the public realm, by approaching transformation that needs a small amount of money, that needs not a great amount of time, that could be reversible in order to test solutions that can then be transformed permanently, confirmed after the testing, also thanks to the monitoring and to the activation made by citizens themselves. When approaching to the public realm, to the public space field, we have to consider that the typical approach of transforming places is through public works. Public works means years of process in order to formalize proposals, projects that have to be approved in different phases, projects that need huge amount of money, millions of euros to approach any transformation, and with designs that are shared and discussed with citizens, with the people based on paper, without the capability of people themselves to understand the potential of transformation, with solutions that are not reversible and that could bring to projects that are outdated once implemented. With tactical urbanism, we shift the approach. We try to demonstrate that change in cities can be possible by willing it. Tactical urbanism makes possible for people to believe in change because they can participate to a process that starts and ends in a small amount of time, with the power of co-designing those spaces and with the potential of participate to the realization, implementation, and activation of the transformation. In Milan, we approached the tactical urbanism methodology starting in 2018 with a project by Comune di Milano, developed by AMAT, Agency for Mobility, Environment and Territory, called Piazze Aperte. It's a project that approaches the transformation of public realm for people with the idea of realizing and implementing a city for people by small interventions in the neighborhoods, interventions that can build the idea of a multicentric city, something reachable in 15 minutes walking or cycling as per the 15 minutes city approach. And thanks to those transformations that are a demonstrator of what is possible, we can scale up the idea of a more sustainable city, of a city for people in different neighborhoods by emulating projects and processes and by transforming the city piece by piece. Piazze Aperte is now focusing on school streets, and in 2022 we launched another open call called Piazze Aperte for every school, and we got 87 proposals that we're now processing, co-designing with communities and with people, co-designing with schools themselves in order to deliver the first amount of projects, the first series of projects in the next months. One of the first projects implemented through Tactical Urbanism Milan, and part of the Piazze Aperte program, was the one of Piazza d'Ergano. D'Ergano is a neighborhood north of Milan that had a piazza that was used as a parking lot, a piazza, a square by name, but not livable for people. When approaching the tactical urbanism transformation, we started facing huge reaction and huge resistance. And we understood that that resistance could be overcome by the experience of living the piazza itself. Public space is the place where negotiating the form of public space itself. Through time, once implemented, after the opening party and the series of activations, the neighbors started accepting the transformation, and D'Ergano became an example for other neighbors to transform public spaces in a similar way. After 3 years of testing, the project was then transformed into a permanent one, into a permanent plaza, because the tests showed that the neighborhood, the community, wanted to confirm the place that became the center of the neighborhood itself. This is a small demonstration of the power of public space, and particularly of the power of transforming streets as public spaces, because streets are public spaces are for people, people build communities, and the communities are the ones we should give power to in order to make change happening in cities.
Orizzontale is an architects collective that has been experimenting on public space since 2010, testing city-making tools such as urban reactivation, open transformation processes, urban assemblage, and temporary architecture. Temporariness, self-construction, and new urban imaginary characterize most of our projects. The first Luogo Comune experiment took place in 2010, when the term tactical urbanism practically did not yet exist. Our first design actions were urban activists, the first era of tactical urbanism. We removed the fences from a semi-abandoned construction site to allow access to the area, and then created temporary self-built furniture once the municipality paved the square. Between 2017 and 2020, and in collaboration with the Roma municipality, we realized two projects in Piazza Venestrella. Iceberg and Largo are two self-built collective infrastructure that allow new uses on the square, moving from the informal ones developed over the years. Iceberg seeks to dig into the collective imagination of the square, bringing to the table the different realities that animate it. Largo promotes its convivial use in continuity with what has been promoted in the previous phases. In 2023, thanks to European funding, Platea, a collaborative project with local associations, seeks to enlarge the engagement on possible square improvement. The space is set up by a program of activities, testing various possible uses, while the legal nature of the space is necessarily clarified to imagine a more long-term project. The various experiments on Piazza Venestrella demonstrate how tactical urbanism helps qualitatively improve a public space, even temporarily, and simultaneously it creates the condition for a longer-term transformation, which would probably not even be considered without these temporary tests. Since the first experiments run by activists, tactical urbanism has enormously evolved over the past 2 decades. Local municipalities now use it to test new urban solutions. The contemporary city is facing even greater challenges, responding increasingly urgently to instances, changes in behaviors, or crises. With the diffusion of this new tool, there is an increased possibility of making our cities more livable, promoting sociality, and a new way of managing and transforming public space.